It's been a hot minute since I've done a book review, so we're about due. Today I'll be reviewing Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. Let's get into it. Hi, I'm Lulu and welcome to my channel. Before we start, do me a favor, please like this video, subscribe to this channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads. Yes, I too saw the trailers for Project Hail Mary, written by the author of The Martian, and thought to myself, I should read that so I can properly complain about everything the movie gets wrong. Though the Martian movie stuck pretty darn close to the book, so here's hoping they do just as good a job with this one too. Fingers crossed. Let's start with the positives. This, like The Martian, has excellent pacing and keeps you on the edge of your seat, but instead of the whole world trying to save one man, this time it's one man trying to save the whole world. The stakes are pretty darn high. Another similarity to The Martian that I liked, even though the prospects look dire throughout the whole story, the book retains an overarching sense of hope and optimism, even when things get tense and everything goes wrong and the world is literally about to end. I also liked the arc the protagonist goes through. While I have some complaints about the protagonist himself, I'll get to that in a minute, I enjoyed the slow reveal of how he got to where he is and his realization that he didn't exactly volunteer for this suicide mission. Yes, the amnesia that wore off in perfectly linear fashion was a teensy bit contrived, but you know what? It regulated the pacing of the backstory in a way that didn't info dump, so I'll let it pass. While I have my gripes about the protagonist, he definitely grew on me more once he met the alien Rocky. The two of them as a duo is the secret sauce that makes this book. Yes, the plot is compelling, the stakes are high, and the slow reveal of the main character's past is engaging, but it's Grace and Rocky's friendship that serves as the beating heart of this story. I've also got to give a shout out to the frankly brilliant imagination behind the various extraterrestrial life forms, and in the case of Rocky's species, their culture as well. I say imagination because, of course, none of these creatures actually exist. Andy Weir made them up, but they feel very plausibly real. He didn't just dream up weird-looking fantasy creatures and put them in space and call them aliens. He obviously put a ton of thought into creating believable alien creatures, both microscopic single-cell organisms and intelligent sapient beings. Now, without spoiling this part, the ending is another aspect I have to praise. A bad or even mediocre ending can totally ruin a book, so it's an important part to nail, probably the most important part. With this book, I did not anticipate how pleasantly surprised I would be by the resolution. I don't say surprised to imply that it's some kind of dramatic twist ending. It really isn't. It's just sweet. And that made me happy. And that's all I could really ask out of a book. I'd expected that Grace would either gain his courage and die sacrificially, thus completing his personal growth arc, or he would make it back to Earth by the skin of his teeth, much like Mark Watney in The Martian, and, you know, become a hero and all that. But I liked Weir's ending far better than either of the ones I'd expected. And I also liked it better than the ending of The Martian. If you haven't read the book, it basically just ends the moment they get Watney off Mars. The movie gives him more of a resolution on Earth, which I appreciated, but I don't think the movie version of Project Hail Mary will need to do really any tinkering with this ending. Leave it as it is, Hollywood. But of course, I do have some criticisms. There are some really corny bits of dialogue here and there, and I can't not mention that, but my main criticism is about the main character. I didn't hate him or anything, so don't get me wrong. I also appreciate that weird scientist characters don't talk down to the reader when it comes to complicated sciencey things, nor do they speak in highfalutin talk that an idiot like me who failed many a science class just won't understand. Yet honestly, Ryland Grace was too much like Mark Watney, except Watney's whole shtick was cursing a lot, while Grace's shtick is not cursing at all and substituting vulgarities with words like fluffernutter or whatever. Other than that, they're the same person. You know, down-to-earth science bro who makes jokey jokes and knows nerd references, and oh man, science is flippin' cool, bro. I'm hoping that Weir can branch out a little from this particular character type just for the sake of shaking things up. There are options other than cool, irreverent science bro that Weir could take. I liked it once when he did it in The Martian. It's time for a change. I am about to launch into his novel Artemis, so we'll see about that particular protagonist. But since those are my biggest criticisms of this book, I give it a final score of 8 interspecies fist bumps out of 10. But that's just this reader's opinion. Have you read Project Hail Mary? How do you think it compared to The Martian? Drop your comments down below. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell for more content like this in the future, and I'll see you in the next video.